Hey guys, got a 15-minute game on the board. My opponent's rated just over 1,000, and I've been on a terrible slide recently. Basically, I've been guilty of playing chess while tired, and my eyes have been blurry. I'm, getting old. My eyes are starting to go, but I've got some glasses coming next week, so I hope to be able to see everything a little more clearly. Okay, so what I'm proposing to do here is roll out my new checklist, my latest incarnation of the Chess Bootcamp checklist, to help you not play like a complete jellyhead, which is what I've been doing recently. What is my rapid rating slid to 1377. That's like 150 points down from my best. So I think here what we do is when the two knights come out, I think we can capture there. So, right, let's just quickly run through the checklist. Okay, while we are doing this, okay, this is like the Halloween variation. Number one, is my king safe? Right, these are the first two rules of Chess Bootcamp. Yeah? Number one, is my king safe? Number two, am I completely sure my king is safe? All right, so now knight retreat, and there is a correct move here. And is it the E push or the D push? I push that one. You can go back there. If I push that one, he can't go there. I think it's the E5. Okay, anyway. Number three, why did my opponent make that move? Do not proceed until you have answered that question, even if it's an idea, a guess. At least have some understanding in your mind of why your opponent made that move. Now, clearly, what I'm doing here is a kind of tactical, gambity kind of start. So we're breaking all the rules of the opening, but this is a key thing. It's okay to hit pause on your development and your opening if there are pressing tactical opportunities or threats. Okay, now, so number three, why did my opponent make that move? Number four, what just changed? And literally say everything that's changed and talk to yourself if you need to. Okay, that is now undefended, that square is now unprotected, this piece is now on prise or hanging or whatever, or now there's a possibility of a fork, or just talk yourself through what's different on the board. Yeah, so that's number five. What is now on prise or undefended or underdefended? Particularly, any time a piece moves, whether it's a pawn or a piece, then some squares become less defended and some squares become more defended, and you need to clock that before you proceed. Right. Number six, are there any new risks or opportunities? Oh, what? You've just grabbed the pawn, eh? Okay, any new risks or opportunities? If not, you go to the default. Now, what's the default? Well, if you're in the opening phase of the game, default is develop. Get your pieces out into the board, get your king safe, and centralise your rooks, get your queen off the background, etc. Get control of the board. I'm just noticing now we've actually got two hanging knights. So if I take that one with a pawn, it's going to invite the queen to come out. If I take this one with a queen, that's still under attack and I don't have the same problem. So I'm going to grab that knight. But before we do that, are there any dangers? Immediate dangers? No, the queen can't come out. Bishop can't come out to here. I think we're okay. All right. Number seven, then you say, what are all the good candidate moves? And the difference between really good players and weaker players is that the better players get, the wider the scope of candidate moves they tend to consider. Okay, so that's where we are right now. And then you say for each candidate move, step 8, if I do that, what is likely to happen? This is exactly what I do in chess lessons with beginners. So, okay, if I play that, what's my opponent going to do? Oh, well, I didn't even think about that. Well, think about it. What is your opponent likely to do? And that's what chess is. That's how you improve at chess. You start thinking about that, and then you think 2 moves ahead, and then 3 moves ahead, and so on. and then you select your preferred candidate move based on what are the positives of this. That's actually my dog, who's currently developed a disability, wagging her tail and slapping it on the floor. Yeah, she's German Shepherd. She's got that thing where the spinal cord coating kind of degenerates. She's about 8 years old, and it's sad because one of her back legs is starting to go now. Anyway, so let's run through the checklist. Is my king safe? Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, there is a risk of queen here, but that's not a risk because my queen can capture. Knight out there would be a good all-purpose move. It protects these two squares and the pawn and whatever. That's a good candidate move. Can't really bring my bishop out here now, so... And then sanity check. Step 10, sanity check. Is there anything stupid about this move? No, not that I can see. Okay. I need to speed up slightly. That's a little rash. I mean, it's an attack on the queen, but it's a very weakening attack. Means the king's not going to go that way. Is my king safe? Yes, I'm absolutely sure. Yeah, for now he's safe. Why did my opponent just make that move? Just to be annoying and annoy my queen. So I could play queen there and propose a trade of queens. Then I end up with a knight on the edge. Now, right now I've got this development advantage here, so I've got 3 pieces out on the board. Black has 0 pieces out on the board. So if I do that, yeah, takes, I've got 2 pieces out on the board and black has 0 pieces out on the board. So I haven't gained anything by that. My control of the board would then have been diminished. So I'm thinking maybe even something like queen here. So what just changed? This pawn came out. This queen now has a diagonal there. That's not too much of an issue. These squares have become less defended, and these squares are now under attack, potentially. What's now on prise or under defended? Nothing much has changed there. Any new risks or opportunities? Well, I have to move my stupid queen. Okay, so candidate moves this one. So with the idea of maybe the bishop comes out and then we're threatening mate on f7. The knight can't come out and attack, the bishop can't come out and attack. I'm happy with that. I forgot my sanity check, but pretend we're hovering on here. Yep, we are okay. Now, I think bishop coming out looks good. What's my opponent likely to do? This knight now can't come out to this square, and this square is just bad. Okay, let's quickly goldfish. I'm just checking what's defended and not. So everything's actually defended on black's side. Huh. Okay. Ooh, is my king safe? Yeah. Why did my opponent make that move? Don't know. Can't go there, can't go there, can't actually go there or there. So that bishop has not really improved itself. And it's blocked off the queen's diagonal this way. So any new opportunities? Well, I think this idea is still there because the knight can't block. The knight will actually end up having to go to h6, I think, in that case. And it develops. And I'm getting ready to castle my king and get my king safe, so what's not to like? Just been playing really random chess. Yeah, okay, so we expected that. That's not bad. I have a potential discovery now on the knight with the bishop. Knight's defended by that pawn. That pawn is undefended presently. I'm inclined just to castle now, but then is black going to castle? If I move my queen, then the discovery might prevent black from castling. I mean, he's not going to go there and then allow me to grab the knight and then pawn takes. That would just be awful. So like queen here, maybe queen g3, queen e4. Queen g3 might fall to that. Then I have to move again. Right, I need to make a move. Okay, I'm going to go there. 20 minutes, maybe a bit quick to be doing this, but when you're doing it for yourself and you're not talking it through the same, you can do it a bit quicker. Okay, so this discovery's interesting. It would really mess up black's pawns, and as we've seen with this rash pawn push with the c pawn, black has really eliminated his chances of castling long, so he really needs to castle that way, but with this looming threat, I'd argue he can't really do that right now. I'm also looking to castle maybe short, get my rook straight onto this semi-open f-file. So set myself the challenge now of getting back up to 1500 from the lows of 1377. And the question is how to do that. We've actually got a challenge with Christina as well. Okay, I'm simply gonna grab the knight. I know my king is safe, because now I also have ideas of castling long and putting this rook straight onto the semi-open d-file. Okay, so that was fairly forced. Now, if I castle long now, improves my king's safety, and then this pawn cannot capture, and the pawn can't push either because I'm well defended there. So let's go play that move. Time to stop messing around now. I've also got ideas of e takes d6, attacking this bishop, which would then be pinned. So it's a very significant lead I have now. One piece out in the board compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So my development score here is 6. Got 4 pieces developed and I've castled, and castling's worth 2. Black has a development score of 1. Not worried about the bishop coming out here. Nah. So what is the best way? So Christina has just hit. Okay, I think that looks very, very natural. It's a free pawn, comes with check. Yeah, Christina's just hit 1400. So going from my student and is now higher rated than me, which is funny. It's brilliant. So we've got a challenge on to see who can get to 1500 the quickest. So I need to come up with a strategy for how to get to 1500. So the key things are: I want to be awake, I want my eyes to be clear. So might wait for my specs to come next week. And I think as well, something else is a bit of exercise won't hurt either. Just to get that kind of improve my energy levels to a degree. Okay, this bishop's now pinned itself. So is my king safe? Yeah. Is his? No. Am I absolutely sure? Yeah. Why did my opponent make that move? Because it was in check. Didn't know how to get out of it. Okay, so look, let's play this through. Takes, queen takes. It has to block with the bishop, and then pawn takes bishop. Yeah? What's not to like? If I do that, what's my opponent going to do? And we've just opened him up now. Also threatening that too. Was that even an option then? Was that an option? Check. Bishop couldn't take. Queen could take and solve itself for a rook. But we've played this. Welcome to my happy world of pain. Yeah, and then the other question is what kind of time format to play? Should I start going for 60-minute games and use this kind of... Okay, let's just check here. All right, so I'm a piece up right now. This just seems to be a no-brainer. If that that comes with check. The king cannot progress, so it has to be blocked. And if it's blocked by the bishop, which is going to be, got to play bishop blocks, then, okay. Option 1, queen takes, forces queen takes, pawn takes, king's out in the open, and I'm up 2 knights for a bishop. I also have check. Very interesting. Oh no, I'm up 2 knights actually, aren't I? So this is a double attack on the queen. Doesn't come with check. Let's say the queen moves to the side or out here or something like that. It's just horrible, isn't it, for black? Or takes. I mean, it's got to be a winning position, right? Or check here. Queen can't take, king might have to move. Let's just try it. And then I've lost my opportunity to grab the bishop, haven't I? If check there, king here. Now I'm just going to simplify, swap off, down under 5 minutes on the clock. Okay, this is going to happen, yeah, for sure. Then I lose my pawn. I mean, is rook h to e1 better? I think it's better. It's developing, centralising both rooks now. Got one rook behind a lovely passed pawn. The queen is now pinned. So now, if I push that with check, well, I've won the queen anyway, haven't I? Whatever happens. Okay, rook takes or pawn takes. I think pawn takes with check. And it's all going to be all over. Could play knight here. Let's play knight here. Defends the pawn, attacks c7 with a threat of a fork. Very, very resignable position right now. Pawn's just deadly. Yeah, so, and the other interesting question is, whom to challenge? Like, could I be thinking about playing exclusively stronger opponents and trying to wrong foot them? Okay, so this game needs to be won now. Okay, so we are out of the middle game. The queens are off the board. Okay, we're now in the ending. So your default in the opening is develop, unless there's something urgent that you need to do and hit pause on development. Then once the threat or opportunity has passed, you can... I'm going to play this. King can't take the pawn. Just my knights want to be up close and personal with the king. So I'm looking for forking opportunities now, looking for exchange opportunities. Actually doubling up my rooks would be a good idea. Okay, in the middle game, your default should be improve my pieces and build up to an attacking opportunity. Let's just take the rook with a queen. And in the end game, your default should be to what is necessary to win the game. You have to do whatever it takes to win, or if you're in a losing position, to try and draw. Something I failed to do today. Had a very, very interesting game where I think after about 30 odd moves, I still had all of my pawns on the board. I had all 8 pawns. My opponent had more material, actually was up a bishop. So they had 2 bishops and I think I had 1 knight. And it was fascinating because what I did was I moved all my pawns up and crushed my opponent. So that he didn't get to use his bishop. Oh, I had a knight fork there, look. So he couldn't use the advantage of his bishops. But what happened was that we ended up in a situation where he was very much contained. I had all my pawns were pushing up here. And Let's defend. Take the pawn. Pawn's defending the knight. That's defending that. Yeah, and what happened was basically it was a kind of a drawn position. So I was down in material. Yeah. Okay, it's resigned on there. Yeah, down in material. But what happened was I played a pawn break, and finally my first pawn came off the board, and then the position fell apart. So what I should have done in that situation is played for the draw. That's what a serious player would do. Right, but I got itchy and I basically blinked first anyway. So yeah, opening, your default is to develop. Middle game, improve your pieces, build up to an attack, and think about pawn breaks that will shake it up and change the terrain of the game. And in the ending, do what you need to do to get the best result. Okay, there we go. So fairly straightforward game in this one, but please do, I will paste this latest version of the checklist into the description. Please use it, copy it, have it up as a note alongside your chess, browser when you're playing. Use it. It will definitely help. I mean, if I'd used this checklist and played longer formats all week long, I don't think I'd have fallen so horribly below 1400, but there you go. Onwards and upwards. It's only a game. Enjoy playing. It is a beautiful game too. So yeah, hope it's been useful. I'll see you later.